Hi, she's Trixie and I'm Sarah, and this is our Yarn World, a place where we come to share the love of yarn crafts and all that it gives us and what we hope it gives you. We're on episode 142 today, and today we plan to talk about projects that we are working on and things that we have received as gifts that I think for the long term are really going to help us with our crafting and just our channel, and just maybe even inspire you guys to think outside the box with some of the places that you could be actually receiving your crafting supplies, because our Uncle Jack has been really thinking outside the box and really been ingenious about the things and how he's been able to actually gift us quite a bit of our stuff recently. So stay tuned for that, because honestly, I don't know, I'm thinking about really getting into it.
He's really a wonderful guy, and I will tell you, he does online auctions, and that's how he's getting all these beautiful things for us. And so let me just show you. I did show this to you last week, and he gifted me this, and it's a beautiful little velvet case that has a clasp.
Can I see it?
Yeah. And I put my hook into it.
I've just never seen something. It feels so quaint.
And it's like an old-fashioned pocketbook, you know, like from the 40s. And so he gifted this to me, and I was just blown away. I was just so happy. And so that's one of the things that he did. But what he does is he goes on online auctions and he bids. Now, he doesn't go over a certain price. He's a retired gentleman, and he will only go up to a certain price, but if nobody goes over him, he wins the lot. The lot, yes. And so then he goes once a week or once every 2 weeks, however often he does this, and he goes and gets whatever he's won from the auction house. And a lot of times he'll bid on things that are yarn related or craft related, because he knows that we're doing this and we're teaching the children how to do it. So he has a big heart, and he has been bidding on boxes of yarn. Like the last time that he did this, we got 2 great big boxes of yarn. And I am not talking small boxes. These are big old monster boxes of yarn. And I can't remember. I think last time the whole thing cost him $6. And it was and they weren't just thrown in. They were placed in like 2 or 3 high. They were like Aunt Lydia yarn. That's the one that I gave you.
Yeah.
And then there was some that I took from the other box that were 4-ply yarns that were like coordinated for a blanket. So I took those. So I've been able to, he brings them over to my house. I've been able to share with Sarah, and we're both benefiting from his generosity. Well, this week he brought over 2 more boxes. He showed me the receipt. He paid $1 for these 2 boxes. And one of them was just packed full of folders. There was folders in there full of patterns out of magazines and old
websites, printed off,
and quilting books, even the small ones, and just all kinds of patterns. I mean, we're talking even down to dog vests and, you know, mittens, scarves, sweaters, all kinds of things. Knitting, crocheting, all the goods. And so there was that, and then there was a 12 by 12 box. It was a scrapbook paper box that was filled with knitting needles and crochet hooks and all kinds of stuff. So I went through and I grabbed the crochet hooks, and I gave Sarah all the knitting needles, and they know that they can come here and get crochet hooks too.
Oh yeah.
But we've been splitting things up, and so with Olivia learning how to knit and everything, I thought it would be more practical to have the knitting needles go to Sarah's house. So, and then there was, I'm trying to think what else there was in these boxes. Oh, there was the stuffing that she needs for her toys, like 3 or 4 bags of that. Some of it may have been quilting stuffing, quilting batting, but she can still use it as the stuffing for the toys, and so I gave that all to her. And what else was in your box? Was that mostly it? I think it was the folders, the box full of hooks or needles, the stuffing,
magazines,
and there was magazines in there that she could go through and find more patterns from.
Yeah.
And I had a few things here that I kept back, but it was amazing. And it's not little boxes. These are like...
No, they're huge.
They're meat boxes. So when I'm talking tall, it was... They were sitting on my table for a couple of days before I could get through them. But it took 1/2 of my table to hold these boxes. And
Mom has a long table.
Yeah, and I'm just sitting here and I'm thinking, how did he only pay $1 for this stuff? People do not know what this stuff is worth, obviously.
No.
And so it was just amazing, amazing, amazing. And so we're just very grateful to our Uncle Jack.
And one of the reasons I want to point out that Mom hasn't said it yet today is the reason why Uncle Jack also does this is because his former wife was a crafter herself.
Yeah.
So he, as a husband of a crafter, has the eye and the appreciation for this.
Well, he also told me that when he was a young man, like a boy, his aunts all did this. They were farmers' wives, and they all knit and crochet, and they taught him how. So he knew how to knit and crochet, and he did that for years too. So
it's a practical skill.
Not only did, he knows what this stuff is worth, and yet he's paying just a tiny fraction of the cost of what it originally was worth.
Yeah.
So, and he's giving it to us. I mean, we offer every time to pay for it, and he will not take a dime. But he knows that we're doing this for other people, and he's very happy to help us out.
Which is just a blessing. It's just one of those things where, sometimes you just can't help but just be grateful for the family that can come out of the woodwork in these sort of ways, because there's some family that just... I feel like everyone has those family members where it's like they're so gone that you don't get to see them again. And even if you see them, they might not appreciate you. And then there's other family members that are very close that kind of become so familiarized by what you do, they either just don't pay attention, not because they don't care, but because it's so in the environment that they just don't see it anymore. Or then you have the family members where it's like, even if they don't see you all the time, they associate it with you.
Yeah.
And so when they see something, like for us it's this, they think us.
Yeah.
And so even if we don't see them regularly, they're just like, oh, that's Trixie, oh, that's Sarah. And
Yeah.
they get it. Even if we don't see each other all the time, it's one of those like, it just screams us in their minds. And it's just one of those, I don't know. It just means so much to me.
Yeah,
I
me
love
too.
being owned by my craft.
Right? So what are you working on?
What am I working on? What am I working on, Mother?
I asked her to make a toy for my little granddaughter.
She recently came into the family.
And she just turned 4. And so Sarah's working on a horse for her.
Okay, so I'm going to show you and then I'm going to explain the design. I am not doing this just out of my head. This is something that I am doing from a pattern, and I would like to actually do this tail a little bit better. So I'm going to talk for a minute while I get this and then show off. But here's the thing. With toys like these, the thing that I have come to learn is that anytime you can do the toys all in one go, the better they look. And crafters, like the person who wrote this pattern, are brilliant because they have figured out the art of the geometric shape of making it happen all in one go. It's very much math, and I've explained this to people before. A lot of doing amigurumi is understanding basic multiplication and division, and in some ways it's higher math, geometry, because you're dealing with the idea of space being filled in and how you're going to get from the bottom to the top, because with crochet you're doing one row at a time.
Yeah.
And with this project, I did not take the time to look at the author's name, but we will have her listed down below. I bought this pattern from her on Etsy, and it was on sale, and honestly, it's a surprise to me that this pattern is on sale for as low as it was. But here's the thing. The way that it is, for how detailed this horse is, so my mom wanted a brown horse, and they teach you how to do it in several different color schemes and ways. But she wanted the horse to have kind of like mermaid / like unicorn hair. So far I've had like this pastels of blue, purple, and like a peachy, kind of a peachy sand color, coral color. And I've done that for the mane, and I've done that for the tail. And the tail and the mane are something that I've done. So they are not the design of the prior, right, of the author. They have it done in a different way. I did the mane and the tail my way, based off of the request. So I got the shape and the pattern for the horse, and I went on my own when it came to the tail and the mane. Not that what the creator did originally wasn't good enough, it just wasn't matching the request. So here's the thing. You're thinking, oh, well, yeah, you're just crocheting. Well, here's the thing. You're crocheting from right here. And then you're going down, and then they make you come back in real quick to be able to do this. And then they're making you go straight down and broaden out this way. And here's the kicker. Everything right here, okay, so I'm just moving the tail back, is a point. And you're thinking, well, why is there a point? Because eventually when this is tall enough, they're going to want you to turn this in, and all of a sudden that creates the 2 legs.
Oh,
and the natural like rear of the horse, and then eventually that will turn into being able to create the thighs of the back of the horse.
Wow, that is ingenious.
Everything is thought through with this pattern.
Wow.
Everything. And it's made all out of one. From top to bottom, it is like one continuous go.
Wow, that's amazing.
And there is something so beautiful about how this crafter was like, we're going to make it one whole thing. Yeah. It's not going to be a make the head, make the neck, make the body, make the legs, and sew it together. Not that there's anything wrong with that, and there's plenty of good quality patterns like that. But when you're dealing with a horse like this design, I just find that so ingenious that they figured out how to do the shape and have it curve in and have it make it all in one go. And when I'm done, all 4 of these legs will be made, and all those 4 legs have their own individual shape. And the last thing I will be doing is sewing the belly together. And it'll be all one whole thing. And I find that so brilliant.
In this way, a 4-year-old cannot tear this apart.
Nope.
Because there's no parts.
Nope.
That is awesome. I didn't even know that.
Ain't this so ingenious?
It really, really is.
Here, I'm going to pull it up real quick. This pattern is...
You'll have to send it to me too.
I will. It's just a crocheted horse pattern. At the end of the day, this is how it's supposed to look. And I think that that's really impressive.
It really is.
And this was down to $3.80 when I bought it.
Wow.
Because it was on sale. And this pattern is so well done. So well done. But yeah, Mom, look. When it gets to that right point, eventually you bring it in, and that creates the two. And then you see how that, and then you naturally sew those in, and then they want you to do the legs.
That is amazing.
And you attach from here so that it still goes in the same grain as the, and I'm trying to show her this because obviously
we can't show you.
I'm not, you're going to have to buy the pattern.
Yeah.
But there's a sense of it's all going in the same direction. It's going from top to bottom. You'll not see those seam stitches or anything. It's all going to be done. And yeah, I don't know. This has been a very interesting pattern that I can say that when you get to have the opportunity of crafting from someone else's brain, like a pattern where someone else took the time to not only envision it, do it, and then be able to have the patience to be able to then write it down, to be able to successfully translate how they did something for someone else to repeat. Something especially like this is just ingenious to me, and I can tell that I'm probably going to do this one again. For anyone asking about the prior week's craft, you know, my Calvin and Hobbes, I will show it to you after I have given it to my father. Yeah. I will let, because it's not that my dad necessarily watches every single one of these videos, but he does see them. So I don't want to chance anything. So you will get to see it after I fully have given it to my dad. And my dad is very gracious. He does know that the gift is happening, so he is not completely caught unawares to the fact that it's taken a little bit longer. So
that's true.
He appreciates the effort that's being put into the gifts. So yeah, I don't know, man. This has been a very, very, very fun project to be able to then kind of problem solve through how I want to do future projects, thinking there is a possibility of being able to do it all in one go if you just take the time to think of it in one linear down way. You find a starting point and you decide that's my stop, and then I'm going to go out, and then I'm going to come back in, and then I'm going to go out, and then I'm going to come back in, and I'm going to think about the shape of the animal. And it's just...
People are incredible.
Love it. You are so cool.
Yeah.
You learn so much.
Today we have another verse, and
learned so
Sarah,
much.
We did pick this together, but she must have forgotten.
No, I didn't. I just...
While we try to teach our children all about life, our children teach us what life is all about. And that was said by Angela Schwindt.
I don't know. It just feels so on point that when, in so many ways, it's the simplest things that end up coming back and getting us, because Olivia's recently been really inspired to do what we do and craft like we do, and she's kind of figured out how to knit, and she's been so proud that she's a knitter.
And
she's a knitter, and she tells me that all the time. It's been so rewarding to know that she's not only interested but is succeeding in it. And there's a sense of, like, I don't know, it's just that whole saying right there. While we try to teach our children all about life, our children teach us what life is all about. There's a sense of we're trying to give them skills, but then they give us the purpose of why those skills were even important to begin with. Or just like these where it's like, I've been doing crafting for such a long time. And not that you become necessarily arrogant, but you feel like you have a grip on it just to find another crafter that is able to be like, no, you don't. There's just so much that the difference between learning something and feeling like you got a handle on it to realizing and finding that there's more inspiration than just doing it, but seeing how it creates achievements.
Yeah.
And I just appreciate it so much.
Yeah.
I just love it. Children are so rewarding. Both of my kids are. Not just Olivia. Caniel has been hitting so many fun milestones recently, and I've been so proud of him. And we are just doing well.
Yeah.
We're doing well, everybody. So, we've done 2 weeks of shorter videos. Again, it's just the way that these 2 weeks need to be.
Yeah.
But we hope that if you do join us again, please be prepared. We normally do a little bit longer videos, and just hang out with us. We will probably be sharing a big haul of Uncle Jack's things, and you'll be seeing gifts done and just projects done. And I know I will have some extra things by then to show you. So be prepared for that, and prepare for a very fun story time, because we will be announcing and having a very cool story time for you next time.
Yeah.
For a thing that you'll have to see the next time we show up.
Yeah.
So, as always, we hope that you enjoyed. We hope that you enjoyed our video and felt, I don't know, we always want to make you feel seen, because we feel so incredibly validated by all of your comments and all of your support. You know, it feels like such a community when you comment, because we have such a very, very small community of crocheters and knitters in our town, where it's like, in other parts of the world, it's such a huge cultural thing, where with us, it's much more of an optional hobby.
Yeah.
So reaching out to you guys in this way has always been such a big motivation for why we do what we do. So we hope that you enjoy our time together, your time with us as we have enjoyed our time with you. As always, we hope that you are doing well and that you sit your way
To mental health.